Okay, so this is my teacher resource project, and I chose Behavior Specific Praise, or BSP. This is a project for Educational Research 1, Spring 2024, and I am Miss Rachel London. So behavior specific praise, what is it? Specific praise, or BSP, promotes the behaviors that we want to see. So what are those behaviors that we're wanting to see more of, or even behaviors that we don't want to see more of, like when the child's not doing something, we could actually uh, praise him as long as it's understood. Anyway, it's behaviors that we want to be seeing more of. We want to be promoting that. Behavior specific praise is a praise statement given when a student demonstrates a desired behavior. It is more intentional than simply paying a compliment. So it's the difference between, hey Michael, I see that you did a really great job on problems 1 through 5, like I asked you to. I thank you so much for listening and doing the work. That would be very specific type of praise. We're praising him for the work that he did. We had an agreement that he would do 1 through 5, and he did that. So we're making that clear, as opposed to, good job, Michael, which would not be specific. And in Michael's mind, that could mean lots of things. Or it could just be a blanket statement that doesn't really mean anything. Kids translate that kind of information too. If it's too general, they can kind of translate that it's a blanket type statement in their own way of thinking. A better description for behavior specific praise might be behavior specific feedback, because it's not just that we're praising them, we're giving them specific feedback. The research to support it, research shows that BSP is best in combination with other positive strategies and not a standalone practice. Much like other strategies you'll research will say the same thing. Research also shows that BSP does require consistency, and for educators to practice using the strategy like other strategies in order to do so effectively. BSP versus nonspecific praise is shown to be effective at increasing targeted areas when done so intentionally. It's also shown to help intrinsic motivation, or intrinsic knowing of, like, a student is able to intrinsically praise himself over time by us giving them the cue that these behaviors are good. Why does it fit our school and program? Behavior specific praise follows PBIS standards, which we use, and it fits well into the pyramid model, which has been implemented slowly into the school and the early childhood programming, especially, and it's planning to be integrated into other pieces of our school system. SEL goals, it's very relative to, and also to regular behavior support standards and models. It fits right into all of that. This image was borrowed from this website right here, and it's Superman, and one teacher is saying, or person is saying, good job. And Superman might be thinking, for what? Or, okay. And then the other person, this could be a teacher, I notice you saved a woman from a burning building. She's being specific. She's giving more that specific feedback. She could combine those two. Good job, Superman. I noticed you saved a woman from a burning building. That's kind of how I like to do it. Adaptive behavior specific praise, BSP, adapting behavior specific praise, or BSP, school-wide. Specific details of how the practice works and how it will be implemented. In order to promote students' intrinsic motivation when using BSP, teachers and staff need to identify what the student is being praised for in an authentic and relevant manner. Again, students are very aware of what's genuine and not genuine, um, more than we'd think. Teachers and staff can and should be specifically targeting areas in which they want to see growth in. By praising students' behaviors, we are intentionally promoting or even inviting more of that positive behavior and we want to do this BSP when it's taking place, when behavior is taking place, or shortly after, so the relevancy is there. When used correctly, praise can help students understand the value and effort and persevere with challenging tasks. So that's a quote that's cited below at the last slide. The school can break BSP usage and goals into teams. IEP teams, classrooms, and school-wide, for example, would be great ways for us as a school to break this up. Examples of BSP statements: you have put a lot of time into writing this paper. I see you read quietly and that you also enjoyed the book. I think it's nice to insert the child's name into these phrases as much as you can. I admire you keeping at it even though it is a hard task. You could be specific to what the task is there even. I noticed you tried to solve that math problem a couple different ways. You stayed with the task even though it definitely was a challenging problem. Keeping your calm is difficult. I can see you are making an effort. I am proud of you for finishing those math problems. Thank you for showing me your work. That would be great if the student if you're working on accountability at that time with that student, saying you're showing me your work. Wow, I really appreciate that you completed that entire assignment without me asking again. This is something I use a lot because a lot of the goals that I work on are focus based and task completion based. So it's fun to integrate um, this positive, this behavior specific positive support um, by just naming what it is that we are looking for in the compliment that we're giving versus non-specific praise. Nice work, great job, you did it, you're being good, you are smart, things like of this nature. You are quick, that was fast. Good boy, good girl. By the time the compliment has been given, received, and let go of our process, the student might have forgotten what or not be able to tie what we are praising them for. So that's why that's that distinguishing factor is that it's clear. The student can identify that we are genuinely praising them for this specific behavior, and they can tie into an intrinsic feeling of, wow, I did do that, and okay, I'm getting acknowledged for that. That feels good. And over time and repetition, this will pay off. So this is actually my favorite way of praising students now, to be specific. I don't think I quite got it when I first started implementing it, but now that I'm doing it regularly, I can really see how much it does affect the students. So timeline for implementation. Implementation for BSP can begin straight away or as soon as the team feels secure or as the individuals feel secure, if we're going that route. When they feel that they've required or that they understand it enough of what is required of them and decided upon the goals they're trying to reach with this behavior specific praise. Remember, like other strategies, this will feel more natural the longer you practice it. I know when I first started, I had to self-correct often. I would say, good job, and start to walk away and then turn around and say, for finishing that worksheet. And after I did that several times, I just started to do it more effectively the first time. Teams can work together to target specific goals and objective areas. They will be targeted on a consistent basis per child, class, and school-wide, dependent on the team or teams that you fall into. So if you're a special education teacher, this might be something you're working with your IEP teams or special ed teams to develop. If you're a classroom teacher, you will be working with your paras and any support staff, maybe the special education team that you work with or a special educator that you work with to develop those targeted goals. And school-wide, that would just be school-wide administration and other support staff that they want to bring into those decisions. Once goals are agreed upon, teams can share the BSP through examples and just share like, oh, this is what I would say, this is what I would say, and to target the specific behavior. Then we will share data, and data collection will be collected before BSP is integrated. And so we're gathering up what's happening now with a student, class, or school, and during the implementation, we're finding a way, such as an ABA format, to see if the BSP is heeding the desired results. So we need some sort of tracking method that can be agreed upon between teams and members implementing the work. Each team will need to collect their own data, and this could then be shared at our regular school meetings. So elementary has their regular meetings, middle school and high school, etc., has their own meetings. And then all the departments could share briefly when we have school-wide meetings or something like our SEL learning days that are held monthly on Wednesdays currently. It could be broken down and shared then. Activity for us to do right now, just to kind of integrate this a little deeper. Pick the category that suits your current position most. I'll read through them right now. So IEP or specific student, is that where you would fall in? Classroom or school-wide, which category or team would you be working with? IEP or specific student, the scenario is Susie has an IEP goal to stay focused for 5 minutes on an academic task. What are some examples of BSP that will be given to Susie to support growth in this area? So just think of some phrases that are specific to that behavior that we're looking for. A couple phrases, 2 or 3, that you could implement on a consistent basis. Not that the phrase is always the same, but just so that we understand the concept behind it. Classroom, if you are a general education teacher, think of one classroom goal that you can integrate BSP into your day several times per day. If you're a paraprofessional, you can support some of your classroom teachers in coming up with some of these goals that you might see in the classroom as a need base. School-wide, just an activity is think of 1 to 2 school-wide goals that you could implement be behavior-specific praise into on a consistent basis. So what are some of those goals that you are really looking for behaviorally to change school-wide? Who would be carrying out the BSP, and like who would be carrying out these behaviors? And what are 1 to 2 examples of behavior specific praise for each goal that you list? So just take a few moments to just ponder that question that suits you. So go ahead and continue working on those ideas. These are my references, and I'm just going to go right back up to the activity, and I will go back to the reference page in a moment here. And while you're wrapping that up, I just want to say that behavior specific praise has become a really fun way of engaging students and building connections for me personally as I've been learning it this year and this term. It's something that I'm integrating more and more, and that I do see a lot of results with, especially with some students. Some students really, really need that praise, and tying it into a specific targeted goals and things really helps them sometimes make leaps. So I hope that you will consider integrating this into your IEP, students programming, your classroom programming, and school-wide programming. Thank you so much.